The night stretched endlessly over the desert, a velvet sky studded with 1,000 burning stars and ruled by a full moon that bathed the land in a silver light, so haunting it seemed, as though heaven itself was holding its breath. And there, on the wooden porch of a lone cabin built with sweat, sorrow, and hope, stood two souls caught in the grip of a moment that would change their lives forever. Clara, with her chestnut curls spilling across her tear-soaked face, her hands trembling as though the weight of her secret was too heavy for her frail body to contain, and Nayati, the Apache man, whose presence had always been her strength, whose tall figure and calm gaze reflected the resilience of the mountains and the quiet power of the earth itself. His dark hair tied back, yet stirring gently in the desert breeze, his deep-set eyes fixed upon her with a calmness that both comforted and terrified her, for in that calm she could not read his heart, could not predict the storm or peace that might follow her words. And when she finally let them fall, her voice broke apart, as if her soul itself were splintering. I'm with child, but it isn't yours. The sound of it seemed to echo through the night, carried away into the wilderness, where the coyotes stilled their song as if even they wished to listen, and silence, heavy and unbearable, stretched between them, broken only by Clara's ragged sobs and the pounding of her heart as shame and fear consumed her. For she had carried this secret for weeks, hiding it like a thief hides stolen gold, knowing the day would come when truth could no longer be denied. And now that day had arrived, she expected fury, expected his hands to clench and his voice to rise, expected him to turn from her and vanish into the night, never to return. Yet instead, Nayati stood still, his breath measured, his expression unreadable. And when at last he spoke, his voice rolled deep and steady like distant thunder across a valley. The child may not be mine, Clara, but that does not make it less a life, less innocent, less deserving of love, and it does not make you less to me. And those words struck her like both a dagger and a balm, for she could not fathom such mercy when she had braced for anger, could not bear the kindness when she had earned only rejection. And she fell to her knees, the rough wooden boards scraping her skin, her hands clutching at the folds of her dress as if trying to hold herself together while sobs ripped through her chest. You don't understand, Nayati. You don't understand. I was weak. I was alone. I thought you were never coming back. I thought you had been lost in battle. And in my despair, I let myself be held by another. I betrayed you. I betrayed us. And now I carry the proof inside me. And her words spilled out like poison she had held too long. But Nayati did not recoil, did not turn away. Instead, he knelt before her, his rough, calloused hand rising to cup her tear-streaked cheek. And as he lifted her gaze to meet his own, she saw no fire of condemnation, no shadow of disgust, only a depth of compassion so vast it frightened her more than rage could have. And he murmured in a voice firm yet tender, "The past cannot be changed, Clara. The steps you took cannot be walked back, but what lies ahead belongs to us if we choose it. The life within you is blameless, and the question is not what has been done, but what you wish to do now. Do you wish to raise this child in fear and regret, or in strength and love? And his words cut through her despair, like light through storm clouds. Yet still her lips quivered with terror as she whispered, "But they'll never accept us, Nayati. Not the town, not my family, not the church. They will call me a whore. They will call you a savage. They will curse the child before it draws breath." And her body shook beneath the weight of those imagined condemnations. But Nayati's jaw tightened, his shoulders squared, and his eyes burned, not with rage toward her, but with defiance toward the world beyond. "Let them curse," he said, his voice like iron against flame. "Let them spit their poison and hurl their stones. They have called me savage since the moment I first opened my eyes. They have named me heathen, less than a man. And yet still I walk, still I breathe, still I choose who I stand beside. I choose the life and I we choose can forge you, together, Clara. No I matter choose their the hatred." Child, and his conviction struck her heart with a force stronger than any sermon, for she had been raised in the church, raised to believe love was bound by law and purity, raised in a home where her father's stern face and her mother's sharp tongue taught her obedience, but never gentleness. And for years she had strived to be perfect, the dutiful daughter, the flawless woman, until she met Nayati at the edge of town among the traders, his proud stance and quiet strength shattering her notions of what a man could be. And though her people warned her to fear him, to despise him, her heart had seen him clearly from the first, had known he was the freedom she longed for, the truth she had been denied. And now, here she was, broken, ashamed, certain she had lost him forever. Yet his arms encircled her with strength and certainty, and she pressed her forehead to his chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heart, whispering through her sobs, "I don't deserve you. I don't deserve your mercy." And his embrace tightened, his reply sharp and unwavering. "It is not about what we deserve, Clara. It is about what we choose, and I choose you." And those words wrapped around her soul like armor, fragile hope blooming within the ashes of despair. And the night seemed to sigh with them, the coyotes lifting their mournful song once more, as if acknowledging the vow spoken not in ceremony, but in tears and truth. And Clara knew this was only the beginning, for the town's whispers would rise like wildfire. Her family's judgment would fall like hammers. The church's condemnation would burn like fire, and the journey ahead would test them both, would force them to face not only the hatred of others, but the shadows of their own pasts. Yet in that moment, beneath the gaze of the endless sky, Clara realized love was not about purity or perfection, but about endurance, about forgiveness, about choosing one another, even when the world gave every reason to turn away. And so their story began, not in triumph, but in brokenness, not in celebration, but in confession, and yet stronger for it, a story that would stretch across deserts of sorrow and mountains of joy, a saga of loyalty and sacrifice, of betrayal and redemption. And dear listener, if your heart has been stirred by this beginning, if you feel the pull of their journey and hunger to know where it will lead, then do not let go. For this is only chapter 1 of a tale that will carry you through every storm and every dawn. And to walk beside Clara and Nayati through it all. Subscribe now. Stay with us and let each heartbeat of their story echo within your own until the very end.